Best friends. Thomas the Tank Engine and Bertie the Bus have been best friends for many years. Often when they're not taking passengers between them, they would pass the time by chatting to one another while they waited in the station yard. But it was not always like that. One day, Thomas was at the junction with Annie and Clarabel. He was waiting to collect passengers from Henry's train. But Henry was late, and Thomas was not pleased. "How can I run my branch line properly if I have to wait around like this?" he complained. "I'm never late." "Or at least only by a few minutes," laughed Bertie. He was waiting for Henry too. "I would have thought," Thomas went on, "that Henry would be more reliable after his rebuild at Crewe, and yet I still have to wait for him." "Some things never change," agreed Bertie. Then he smiled. "Still, do you remember the first time I took your passengers for you?" "Oh, yes," said Thomas. "I wasn't very pleased, was I? Mind you, it was my own fault. I didn't wear on my snowplough and got stuck in the snow. And then you came to take my passengers home. I didn't know how useful buses were then." "That's right," said Bertie. "You wanted to do everything yourself without any help from me. Then we argued about who was the fastest, So we had a race to settle it," said Thomas. "You were already ahead while I was getting up speed." "I was," said Bertie. "I practically flew down the road. I was already through the level crossing before you." Hang on, laughed Thomas. "That's not what happened. You had to wait at the gate behind the level crossing, and I sped through." "I soon caught up with you again, though," said Bertie. "And by the time we got to the road bridge, I was out in front." "I was worried about losing," said Thomas. "But Annie and Clarabel encouraged me to keep going. Luckily, the next station was empty. So when I got to the river bridge..." "That's not what happened either." "I remember that you had to stop at the next station for a drink." "Oh, right," said Thomas, remembering. "Well, anyway, I felt better after that drink, and then I was at my full speed. I remember how cross you were, seeing you stuck at that traffic light." "I was," said Bertie. "You called me slow coach. I was stuck up there for ages until the light changed to green. But it got really exciting when I got to where the road and railway ran side by side. Our passengers were all cheering us on. They were enjoying themselves as much as we were." "Yes, I remember," said Thomas. "I thought you were going to catch up with me until we got to the hill. I whooshed through the tunnel and was already at the station just as you came down the hill. Oh, I was puffed out, I can tell you." "Yes, so was I," said Bertie. "Even as a young bus, I could never climb hills well. But you won the race, and that's when we became friends." "The other engines still talk about it in the shed sometimes," said Thomas. "They call it the Great Race. And we know why, don't we?" Thomas and Bertie were having such a good time that they jumped when they heard a loud peep. There was Henry, looking most annoyed. "Are you two going to sit there chatting all day?" he complained. "There's work to be done, and you know you're going to make me late." Thomas looked at Bertie. Bertie looked at Thomas. "Late indeed," said Bertie. "Well," said Thomas, "what a cheek!" And the two friends laughed as they collected